If the year 2021 has taught us one thing, it is that online visibility and brand awareness is critical. More people are searching online than ever before, but I know that SEO can be overwhelming, especially for small businesses. Where do you start? Today, I'll teach you how to create an effective local SEO plan that funnels real, ready-to-buy leads to your business. Hi guys, John Vong here, and welcome back to my channel. Even before the pandemic, the trends already showed that more people were searching online than ever before, especially on mobile devices. Think about it. When you are looking for a product or service, where do you go? If you're like me, you start on Google. And if you want to make sure that your business appears at the top or on the first page of search engine results pages, or SERPs, you need to look at SEO. A solid and comprehensive SEO campaign can attract more organic traffic and increase your revenue to improve your overall return on investment. I hear a lot from small businesses that they think they can't compete online with larger corporations. How do you outrank someone with the authority, expertise of a huge multi-million-dollar brand? You don't have to, because you actually have an advantage. When someone is searching for a service near them, what do? They type in their local neighborhood or city, which means that if you properly optimize your site for your local area, you can capitalize on the online traffic and search that new customers can find you. And those customers that are searching specifically for your product, they are already ready to buy. They just need to find your specific business, so you aren't hitting someone cold when they're just scrolling through social media. You aren't interrupting them with advertising. You are organically showing up on the first page, which shows to a user that you are trusted by Google. So you automatically gain authority. So let's get into the nitty-gritty, because while SEO is fruitful, it can also be overwhelming and complicated. First, you need to assess your SEO performance. Before you build your SEO plan for 2022, you must first evaluate your present SEO strategy and how it is performing. Even if you aren't doing SEO yet, it's important to see where you stand in terms of keyword ranking and authority on Google. How do you know if you're succeeding if you don't know how far you've come? A few things you should look at are your website's organic exposure, keyword rankings, and branded versus non-branded traffic split. You can find this using a number of tools, including Google Analytics, Ahrefs, and SEMrush. There are a ton of tools and a ton of free tools out there, so do some research and find out what works best for you. Also, a tip. If you're looking to invest in an SEO campaign with an SEO agency, most of them will do this work for you as part of a setup. So they will tell you where you stand and use their tools to do so. Once you track the performance of your organic traffic and keyword rankings, you'll be able to immediately see how your website is performing. Are you ranking for keywords? Even keywords on page 8 are better than keywords nowhere to be found. You can improve upon that. How is your organic traffic? And then your branded versus non-branded traffic split will show you if there are opportunities to connect with a segment of your audience who is looking for your brand. If people are already searching for your brand, that's great. Once you take a look at these metrics, also look at Google Analytics. It's free and pretty easy to add to your website. If you don't have it, set it up immediately. If you do, take a look at conversion rates, bounce rates, and more. There is tons of data in Google Analytics. and it will give you a general idea of how your website is performing from an SEO standpoint. And if you haven't done SEO before and your website is performing poorly, don't get stressed out. There is nowhere to go but up from there. And once you start doing SEO, you will see improvement. But remember to take a screenshot of where you started. It's so good to have a benchmark so that you can check in on your SEO progress and see how far you've come. Then you need to do an SEO analysis of your competitors. You won't know what you need to achieve until you know what your direct competitors are doing. Are they ranking for keywords? Are they showing up on page 1 of Google? If they aren't, your job will be a lot easier, but you definitely need to know before you start your campaign. So do the same analysis on your competitors. This will show you what is and isn't working for them, as well as areas of improvement. What are they missing out on that you could use to your advantage? First, compile a list of your major competitors, including those in your service area and those who routinely rank well on Google. Some tools like Moz have a free 30-day trial, so you can use this to get a grasp of your own SEO standing and your competitors. Just don't forget to cancel if you don't think you'll use it in the long term. And don't forget to look at competitors' link profiles. This is how many links they have pointing to their site. Links are one of the hardest parts of any SEO campaign. This will show you where their backlinks are originating from. It will show you the difference between your links and theirs and allow you to find new opportunities. If a site is willing to link to your competitor, reach out and see if they'll link to you. It will also show you how many links you need to gain in order to catch up to and surpass your competitors. Once you have figured out your status and your competitor's SEO standing, determine your goals. I talk a lot about goals on this channel, and it's because I believe that they are so important. You need to figure out what you want to achieve with your SEO campaign. What KPIs or key performance indicators will help you track your progress towards these objectives. Defining your goals first, you can tailor your SEO campaign to fit them, and it will also allow you to track them. For example, do you want to raise income by a particular amount? Drive organic traffic to your website? SEO isn't just about ranking on Google, because anyone can rank for keywords that no one is searching for. So make sure you have an end goal. What will ranking on Google hopefully get you? This will help you finalize your SEO plans. Next, you need to define your keywords. After you've identified your goals, you need to do keyword research. This will help you figure out what keywords your ideal customers are searching for, and therefore what keywords you need to target. You may have a general idea of what keywords your customers are searching for, but something like Google Keyword Planner or even Google Trends can show you what keywords are being searched for, their volume, and their competition level. Don't target all keywords with high competition levels because those will be very hard to rank for. But you also don't want to only target low competition keywords because they will generally have a lower volume. So do a mixture. And don't forget about long tail keywords. Long tail keywords are simply longer keywords. These keywords are usually 3, 4, or 5 words long. You may think that shorter keywords are more popular, but think about how people search, especially now that voice search is available. Long tail keywords actually account for almost 30% of keywords, with 10,000 or more searches per month. That's a lot. And it means that there are keywords in there that you can capitalize on. For instance, if you were a plumber in Toronto, and you might target the keyword plumber Toronto. And there are probably a lot of searches for that. But think about what else your potential user would search for. Something like repairing a clogged garbage disposal in Toronto just might have a great search volume. A lot of people search things specifically, so keep that in mind. Relevant long-tail keywords can also help you identify deeper topics that your users have interest in. This could be useful for service pages and even blog topics in the future, which we'll talk about in a moment. Once you've narrowed down your keywords, you need to audit your current content. What kind of content do you have on your website? Google frowns on a thing called thin content. This is where you don't have a lot of content or words on your website pages. A lot of websites have favored a more simplistic approach over the years. Lots of white space and very little wording. This might work for a large brand or corporation that is already well known. But if you are trying to look good in the eyes of Google, you need to have content on your website. If you currently have rich content on your site, you could work on simply integrating your keywords through insertion, where you add keywords organically to content that is existing. Or you may need to write new content altogether for content pages to work for these keywords. Once you've audited your current content, it's time to create new content surrounding your keywords. Now that you've seen where you need to improve, it's time to create that content. Make sure that your content is well researched. We always like service pages to be at least 500 words, 1,000 words if possible. Don't just use filler language or throw keywords anywhere. Google is smart. Your keywords need to seem organic and the content needs to resonate with your audience. While you're writing this content, add keywords where it makes sense. Make sure to always include them in your header or H1 tag and your subheaders or H2 tags. Then also put some throughout the content on the page. And writing pages once and putting them up isn't enough. We always suggest writing one monthly blog for your website. Google wants to see fresh content on your site. If it isn't constantly updated, Google will assume your site is stagnant. So a fresh blog each month on a topic that your audience is interested in will help you gain authority and also engage your users. Once your content is complete, it's time to look at your on-page SEO. This can be a little more technical, but it's important. When you implement new content, make sure that your meta description and title tags are also filled and included in your keywords. For metas, keep in mind that this shows up on Google's search page. So make sure it isn't just keyword stuffed. It needs to engage your potential users. Also, make sure that your website design itself is user-friendly and responsive, meaning that it works well for mobile. And when possible, link internally. This means linking from one page on your site to another page on your own website. You can also get great plugins for your site that will help. Something like Yoast or All-in-One SEO will show you where there are major SEO issues on your site and how to fix them. You also need to fix any technical SEO errors. We use SEMrush to determine errors for our clients. But there are tons of tools out there, including Google Search Console. From here, you can determine slow loading speeds or broken links that can affect your ranking. It's important to regularly check your site for technical errors. Links can break and other issues can come up, so you need to stay on top of this. And then, you also need to work on your off-page SEO. These are SEO efforts that take place anywhere but your website. The first thing you need to do is claim and optimize your Google My Business listing. If you're interested in this topic, I can do an entire video on how to optimize your Google My Business listing. This is where your customers can review you, and it will pop up on Google with all of your information when someone searches for your brand. Then the next most important thing is links. First, you can build citations and create profile accounts. These are on websites like Yellow Pages, Yelp, and more. If you Google it, tons of options will come up. Make sure that your information is the same on all of these sites as it is on your website and Google. Your NAP, or name, address, phone number, needs to be consistent. Now, the harder part of link building is getting links from third-party websites. You can reach out to fellow businesses to do a link share, post on forums, share on social media, and you can also try to add value to another site. Offer to guest post. This is a great way to use your competitive analysis from earlier. Where are your competitors getting links from? Reach out to those sites and see if you can get one as well. This part of SEO is tricky and labor intensive, so don't get discouraged if it's hard. And lastly, you need to continuously monitor and adjust your SEO plan. The Google algorithm is forever changing. They update it very frequently. So you need to monitor your campaign. Is what you did working? Do you see small improvements over the first few months? If so, you're probably on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. If not, don't panic. Just pivot. SEO is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Tweak some things, adjust your keywords. Every SEO campaign needs to be tweaked and edited as it goes due to ever-changing world of Google. I hope this wasn't too overwhelming. SEO is complicated, but so worth the effort. If you don't have time to do SEO yourself, I highly recommend looking at hiring an agency. Shop around, find what works for you. But above all else, get started today. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll rank and see results. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you have an SEO campaign and if you're working with an agency or doing it yourself. I'd love to hear how you found it. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and let's grow together.